Circle, circle, circle. You are live. So they say I am live in living color yet again. Well, I got kicked off Facebook yet again for bullying bullies. I don't really understand why that is. I mean, I'm just giving them back some of their own medicine. But I understand, good guys sometimes get caught in the webs made for bad guys. That tends to happen from time to time. Just got to learn to live with it, I suppose. So I decided that I'd take this opportunity to get some things off my chest, tell you how I feel about some things. For the last 4 years, I've been on there telling people that they're not so bright, that they are ignorant, and they let a punk ass, stupid, rich boy take control of us and pretty much con us, grift. He was a con man. And I want to impress upon the fact that that's pretty much absolute. That he absolutely is a bad, bad man. And he absolutely spit in the face of America and democracy and all of our pillars. And he was trying, audaciously so, to send us over the cliff towards right-wing conservative nationalist rock bottom. That's where he was trying to take us because he was a dictator at heart. He wanted an authoritarian rule. He wanted to be like Putin. He wanted to be like Kim. He wanted America to be his own little personal dictatorship. And he played on people's religious faith, the religious notions. He played on people's nationalism. He played on people's ignorance. He used misinformation and propaganda. And it was just an ugly, ugly 4 years in America. And I hope someday that the 70 some million people that voted for him do come to terms with the fact that they were conned. They were okey doke, ran amok, bamboozled, led astray. They were completely un-American for the last 4 years. We have been outrageously un-American for the last 4 years. And people were proud of it. People thought it was okay. It's okay to be racist. It's okay to fly Confederate flags. It's okay to fly Nazi flags. It's okay to be mean to women in power because you're intimidated by them. It's okay to do all these things, I suppose, in America. We don't have to live by our ideals and pillars anymore. Not everyone's equal. We're not here to try and get better and endeavor to form a more perfect union. We're not here for law and order and justice and logic and reason anymore. We're just here to get what we can get while we're here and then just leave it for whoever else comes along to clean up the mess for us. That's basically what the last 4 years have been. And now the good guys are back in charge. And I am truly, unbelievably happy about this. I can't impress upon you. It's like 70 million deplorables hopped off my back. It's like, finally, the adults are going to be back in charge again now. Now, of course, he's going to throw his little tantrum and he's going to say the final spit in the face of America and democracy was now he wants to call our voting process a fraud. Because he lost everything. They had to cheat. Even though in 2016 we were absolutely cheated. No, we weren't cheated by voter fraud. It wasn't illegal dead people fucking voting. That's not the election interference that occurred in 2016. What happened in 2016 is the social media and people's brains were saturated with misinformation. Things that weren't true. They made a bunch of people believe things that just simply weren't true. They fed a bunch of sheep a bunch of misinformation and made them feel strong for 4 years. It's okay to impose your God's will. It's okay to impose your nationalism. It's okay to impose your ignorance on others. And that's what they did for the last 4 years. And good for you. You did it. But now we've taken it back. We overwhelmingly kicked your dicks in the dirt. And we didn't cheat. There was no interference. This was just simply people voting the way that they could vote. And you want to discredit it. You want to continue to throw gas on your ignorant fucking fire that's been burning for 4 years already. Okay. I don't blame you for, but I don't blame you for defending your turf and playing till the bell, but hasn't the bell already rung? The biggest American bell there is? We elected this guy overwhelmingly. No matter what you did, no matter all the bullshit that you pulled over the last 4 years, trying to gain power and establish dominance over everyone else, no matter how much bullshit you pulled, spitting in the face of America, pissing on America, we still came out of the woodwork. The silent majority came out of the woodwork and voted you sons of bitches out. Minorities voted you out. Women voted you out. People that are educated, they voted you out. They spit in the face of your ignorance, overwhelmingly. We took back the wall, the blue wall. We took Georgia. We took Arizona. We overwhelmed you in your Confederate Electoral College. Plus, we overwhelmed you in the popular vote. We destroyed you. There's no other way to say it. You got destroyed by American democracy. And now you want to call it fake. You want to call it a fraud, just like everything else you've been doing for 4 years. Okay, I can't say as I blame you. I wouldn't want to admit this shit either. I'd go out of my fucking way to make sure that I could find a way to make myself right in this instance. But you can't. You're not going to find a way to be right this time, folks. It's over. And here's the bad thing is them Confederates already took your first turn and we let them sons of bitches out. Now we can't be as easy on you this time. I'm sorry, but we can't. For my children's sake, for this country's sake, for humanity's sake, we can't keep dealing with your bullshit. We really can't. We have to draw a very definitive line in the sand and say, you cannot be this way and expect us to pay attention to you. If you're going to be racist, we're not going to talk to you. We don't want to hear what you have to say. If you honestly believe that you are superior to other people in any way, shape, or form, that you have the right to impose your ignorant will on others, if you feel that way, we don't want to hear from you. We don't want to hear you talking. We don't want you to hear you pretending like you're more American or more Christian or more human or better, moral, ethical, whatever, smarter. I don't care. More wise. I don't want to hear it from you. Because if it comes from a place where you feel superior to black people or women or Muslims or any other fucking person on the face of this planet for any reason, then your opinion does not deserve to be heard in America. Because that's not how America rolls, folks. Okay, we have to come clear with that. That is a very, very essential first pillar, cornerstone of our democracy, of our grand experiment, of this great thing that we're in together. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Now it's evolved into all people are created equal. We gave women rights. We gave black people rights. We are giving gay people rights. We want everybody is equal. Regardless of what you got between your legs, regardless of who you go to bed with at night, regardless of what God you worship, we're all equal in the eyes of America and in the eyes of God. Point blank and simple. We can't backpedal from that notion anymore, because you see where it gets us. It gets us all hating each other and forgetting what connects us, what makes us all equal, what makes us all the same, which is the fact that we're all human beings. We are all a piece of humanity. We all come together to make humanity. And in America, we have this righteous notion called a constitution, called our grand experiment, called a democratic republic. This is something, we are unique, the envy of the world. We are something that everybody endeavors to be like, but nobody can be, because we are an original. We are something that came along that transcended everything before it. Our righteous notion of a more perfect union for all people. A place where everybody can practice free speech, practice freedom of religion, practice the freedom to petition and to assemble. Where you are free to do things that are in the best reason. I mean, you're not free to kill people. You're not free to steal shit from people. You're not free to rape people. You're not free to impose your ignorant will on people in America. But you are free to make money, to thrive, to go out and get opportunity. You are free to be an individual and worship whoever you want and believe whatever you want within reason. But you cannot impose your stupid shit on people. You can't impose your God complex, your God notion of a higher power. That's not in your right. You can't make anybody else believe what you believe in God. That's your God. That's your business. You're allowed to believe what you want, but you can't make anybody else believe it. It's simple. It's not a hard notion to live by. You can believe whatever you want, but you can't make nobody else believe it. Okay? Another thing is nationalism. A big point for this whole fight. I love America too. I would die for America. I am a very, very proud American. But I can't make anybody else be proud of America like I'm proud of America. I cannot impose my patriotism on others. I can't make others be American like I'm an American. It's not how we roll. They have their own rights. They're allowed to talk dirty about America if they feel the need to. They're allowed to not stand for the flag if they feel like it. It's not your right to tell them what they can do and what they can't do and how to be an American. It's part of the whole, that's what makes us part of what makes us great, folks. Is that you can't impose these type of things on people in this country. Now, for the longest time in America, we had to build this. This just didn't happen overnight. Nobody had a magic wand and just said, hocus pocus, we're the greatest country in the world. We're the greatest civilization in the history of civilizations. We're the greatest society in the history of history. That just didn't magically happen. We had to evolve from some colonies that gained independence from the man in the world. England at that time, they were the shit. They were the big dog. And we nipped them on the fucking heels and we took our freedom. And we started growing. And how we started growing is with our righteous notion. First and foremost, we don't let a king rule us. We're not going to let King George rule us. We're not going to be beholden to any one person or any one entity. We're going to be beholden to each other. We're going to have a government of, for, and by the people. The people are in charge of the people. We come together in this righteous notion for humanity, not just for us, but for everyone. Not only are we going to endeavor to make everything righteous for people in America, but we're going to keep an eye on other people too. We're going to help them too. The first thing, one of the first battles that we had in America, building this righteous notion and evolving this righteous notion, one of the very first ones is slaves. We were built as a country on slave labor for a lot. We counted on slave labor for a considerable portion of our history. But we came to a point where we had to evolve and we couldn't allow that to happen anymore. So what did we have? The Civil War. You had a group of people on one side that said, hey, man, I'm allowed to keep these people as slaves, whatever. You know, I'm a white man, so I'm better than them, and I'm American, I'm better than them, whatever. This was before we killed all the Indians. Don't forget the Indians that we came and took all their land because we were white Christians and we were allowed to do it. So we got a little bit better. And we gave them some land out in Oklahoma and we let them do their own thing. But first we took all their shit. We settled all their land. But then the black people came along and we made them do all our work for generations. And finally we came to a point where, hey man, we can't let these guys be unequal. We hadn't even got to the point where we made women equal really yet. Started out with all men are created equal, but we evolve and get better. First, we gave them black folks emancipation. We made them free, but they weren't equal. Okay. Then along the lines, we gave the women the right to vote, but they still weren't equal. We still didn't treat them equally. We still don't. We still don't treat black people equally, but we're evolving that way. The newest group of people are homosexuals, gay people. We don't want to give them their rights either. We want to take away the Muslims' rights. We want to take away more of the women's rights. That's what you deplorables have been doing for the last 4 years, is trying to take back the power for yourself and take it away from everyone else and come up with all kinds of idiotic ways to justify this. Your religious notions, your nationalist notions, your conservative, ignorant notions. You want to impose all your ignorance on everyone else, and that's what you did for 4 years. And guess what? We beat you at your own game. We took advantage of the Electoral College and beat you in key states and took that victory by a wide margin. Plus, we took the popular vote by a wide margin. So we knocked your dicks in the dirt. Again. American democracy won. Equality won. Just the good guys won. Because make no mistake, the Confederacy was not the good guys. Same thing goes with them Nazis who we went and knocked their dicks in the dirt too. We had to go across the pond to do that before they came over here. Before they beat everybody over there, they were going to come over here and try us. So instead, we went over there and beat their dicks first. Over there. Help them guys over there knock their dicks in the dirt before they tried to come over our way. So we have a history of knocking ignorance dick in the dirt. And we did it again with you deplorables. I hope you realize that. I hope you realize that that's the gravity of your mistakes. You are up there with the Confederates and the Nazis. It's fairly sound. It's a very fairly sound argument. And I hope you realize that. Eventually, you'll come to terms with it. If you pay attention. If people stand up and make you understand it, then you will, eventually. And you're going to feel really bad when you do finally come to terms with exactly what you've done to America for the last 4 years. But I need to find focus. I need to find some focus, and I need to tell you what you need to hear from the very get-go. Something that the first hurdle that we're going to have to overcome in our way back. Building back better. That's what Joe wants to do. That's what Kamala wants to do. And that's what I think they're going to do. But we got some hurdles to overcome. And the very first hurdle, I've already discussed religion. That separation of church and state is one thing. That's a no-brainer. That's truths to be self-evident, man. It's like, duh, we don't let God be in charge. We've seen what happens when God is in charge, so put that aside. Leave your God, that's your shit. Don't try and impose that shit on other people in America. It's not how we roll. Can't do it. But the next thing, and you'll see that it's in line with the First Amendment. The first one was religion. They tried to fuck with that. They tried to make everybody conservative Christian. Christian right. They were empowered by Trump. And they thought it was okay to put justices in there so they could try and overturn Roe v. Wade and make this more Christian. They wanted to make this a Christian nation again. No, it's not a Christian nation. We're not a Christian nation. You can believe whatever God you want, but we're not a Christian nation. But the thing that we really have to deal with right now, and this is important, this is the root of the whole problem. And I'll tell you why along the way, but it's the second part of the First Amendment, which is the freedom of the press. The freedom of the press was attacked audaciously by our president for the last 4 years. Audaciously. He spit in the face of the freedom of the press. And you know why he did that? Is because he didn't want us to know what to trust. He didn't want us to trust anything but him. He didn't want anybody to trust anything but what he said. And the first thing he attacked was the CNN, our very first worldwide cable broadcast network that was credible, was held to certain standards of credibility. They tried to be fair. They tried to be honest. They tried to tell us as much as they could tell us without making us crazy. They were held to standards. But what's the first thing he did? No, CNN's fake news. He made everybody lose faith and trust in our news. So most of us always had CNN and our local news. Well, they took over most of our local news. And our local news is biased and corrupt. It caters to the things that are in our area. It's not altogether fair. But you always was supposed to have CNN to bring in all views. They tried to bring everything in. They tried to tell you and be fair about everything that was going on. But you wouldn't even give them the time of day because you were told that they're fake news. Now, I'm not going to say that everything that CNN says is absolute truth or even 90% truth. But it's a shit ton more credible and fair and honest than Fox News or Alex Jones or Rush Limbaugh or Graham or the 700 Club. What's that guy's name? If it's Christian news, if it's right-wing conservative news, it's bias by nature. It doesn't have to be fair. Fox News doesn't have to be fair. They're not held to the same standards as CNN is, or even ABC and NBC, which they can flirt with the line. But they try to hold news accountable, try to make them fair. But we didn't have a chance to because it was saturated. That's how you guys interfered with the election in 2016. That's how he got Russian help. And how he got Russian help is that Russian sources saturated social media and saturated all the Fox News and news networks that these conservative people were watching with misinformation. Shit that wasn't true. Shit that was made up. Shit that was just halfway true, but misleading and trying to get you to believe things that weren't really true. That's how they interfered with 2016. Because they saturated people with bullshit, with misinformation, with propaganda, with stuff that just simply wasn't true. And they played on your patriotism, and they played on your religious faith, and they played on your ignorance of how things go, your ignorance of terms like socialism, your ignorance of how things work in a democracy and in a republic. They played on your lack of information, your lack of credible, good knowledge. And they led you astray and bamboozled you and ran you amok. And they okey-doked you. And it looks like they okey-doked around 70 million of you. In some form or another. And it was just, it really was masterful how they went about it. It was a genius con. It was the best con in the history of America. Thus far. Because it okey-doked a bunch of people. Now, I find myself in a real weird state of mind, I guess is what you'd say. Sometimes I don't know whether to shit or go blind right now. I'm very happy with Smoking Joe's victory. I mean, I'm through the moon with that, walking on cloud 9 with the whole Smoking Joe thing. But by the same token, the problem's still here. There's still 70 million people who are still following behind him like little sheep. He's holding up America with bullshit. He's still controlling us with the power that you ignorant motherfuckers gave him. And all that does is keep holding us back. See, that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to take us in reverse. They wanted to take back power for white conservative Christian nationalists. They wanted to establish their will on everyone else. That's why they didn't like women being in charge. That's why they don't like Muslims being in charge. That's why they didn't like a black man being in charge. That's why they are through the roof with their fucking guns and being bullies and intimidating people. That's why this is going on, folks. Shut up, Hawkeye. No. Sorry, we're having hurricanes around here, too. Be quiet. Lay down. So the wind is blowing really hard everywhere. Had a earthquake up north. It's wicked stuff. But anyway, let's get back to the focus where I was before I was so rudely interrupted. Hawkeye, that's enough. It's just the door. Okay, about halfway through. Let's get back to focus here. So, I'm in a bad way. Sort of. Because I don't know whether to start being nice again or to still drive home the bad cop. Because I know you guys still need whooping down because you're still proud of your stupidity, obviously. After all of this 4 years, you guys still voted for that guy, and I can't really understand why. I've stopped trying to understand why, to tell you the truth. I don't have to worry about it anymore. But he's still throwing his little tantrum, being a little baby, spreading out outright lies, bold-faced lies from our White House. We won that White House. That's Smoking Joe's White House now. The good guys and the adults are back in charge now. We shouldn't have to tolerate his tantrum. And they're all like saying, oh, we got to be nice to him. We got to break this to him. Fuck him. Why do we got to break it easy to him? Tell him, fuck you, you lost. Because you suck. You suck dick. Now, the people who's been calling everybody a snowflake for 4 years, now all of a sudden we got to be nice to them. Oh, now it's time to, let's be nice. You can't tell a deplorable, hey, fuck you for being a deplorable for the last 4 years. I'm not allowed to tell them how shitty they've been to everybody else for the last 4 years, and that's why you got beat so bad? Why am I not allowed to tell people that? Why is it okay for them to continue to pretend like now they're playing the victim? They've made everyone else a victim for 4 years. Now they want to play the victim. Oh, you guys are being so mean to us. You guys cheated us. It's fraud. They've turned into the snowflakes. That's why I told you the snowflake thing was a projection from the whole. They are the ones that cry and whine and bitch and moan and complain about everything. They're the ones that try to be bullies and then play victim. That's how they roll. That's not how we roll. We absolutely got cheated in 2016. We absolutely got cheated. But we just stood up and spit in the face of people and said, no, you're wrong. You cheated us. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. You can't do this. You can't do this. He sucks. He sucks. See, look here. This is how he sucks. All we were doing was telling you that you fucked up and here's how and why you're fucking up. And you called it fake news, then denied it and told us we were crazy and liberals and TDS. And now, come to find out, you guys were the crazy ones all along. You guys were the snowflakes all along. You guys were just mad because a black man got in there and did some good shit. You were mad because a woman was going to follow him in there and do some more good shit, and you couldn't take it. Let's come to terms with it. Be fair and honest with yourself about it. For the sake of America, for Christ's sakes. Come to terms with it. For humanity. For posterity. For America. Come to terms with it. And how you got to start to come to terms with it is all you got to do is admit that you're ignorant. You don't really understand what you think you understand. You don't know what you think you know. You are passionate and tenacious and really love something that is wrong. If you're racist, I don't even talk to you. If you got a swastika on your body, if you wave that Nazi flag, if you wave that Confederate flag, if you in any way, shape, or form resemble a racist or think that racism is okay, I don't even want to hear from you. I don't even want to know you right now. Okay? We'll take care of you, and you stay over there and you throw your little Nazi Confederate swastika parties all you want. Pretend that you're the superior race with your fat fucking guts. Go ahead. Stay over there in the woods and practice your, you can wear your robes and your hoods and burn crosses out in the backyard. I don't care. Go ahead. But I don't want to hear from you. Don't try to tell anybody else what to do because your opinion sucks. For a lack of a better term, it sucks. If your opinion is based on that notion that you're better than anyone else because of your skin color or your religion or your status or your gender or your sexual preference or any of that, I don't want to hear from you. You don't deserve the right to say anything until you can get past that ignorance. Until you can come to terms with the fact that you're not better than everyone else. That everyone else has the same voice. That everyone else is equal. And we need to find the truth together, not your truth. You don't get to rule the world with your truth anymore. And that's the evolution that's taking place right now. We evolved and gave slaves the right. We evolved more and gave women the right. And we kept trying to make it better and better and better and better. But we let you guys linger and hang around and pretend like that shit was okay. Well, Trump came along and empowered that shit. Made it something for you to be proud of again. You're proud of your Confederate heritage, even though you were born in the North and never set foot in the South, except for to go down to the beach in Florida. It's not part of your heritage. It's part of your racism, your elitism. That's what it is. It's not that you're better than anyone else. It's that you think you are. And until you stop thinking that, I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to talk to you about it. Because it makes you biased and prejudiced to everything else. Now, for those of you who are left in this discussion, the simple fact is that for some god-awful reason, you followed these notions. You thought these notions were okay. Maybe you weren't completely racist, but it was okay. These guys on your side over here are waving Nazi flags and waving Confederate flags and saying all kinds of, calling Obama's monkeys and all this racist horse shit that family's had to deal with from you bunch of fucking redneck racist motherfuckers. You thought that was okay. It's okay. It's all right for you to run our president into the mud for 8 years. But then you cried like little bitches when we gave your president when he had coming. Obama didn't deserve the shit that you gave him. Trump deserved every bit of what we gave him and then some. And that's the truth, guys. It's the God honest truth, and history will be on my side when it's all said and done. That is the truth. You're just throwing a little temper tantrum because you can't have your way. And he makes you proud of that shit. He makes you proud to be an entitled white son of a bitch. I'm sorry, but that's that. That's the truth. That's the God honest truth. Well, we're 40 minutes in, and as you can hear, my door is slamming in the wind. And I'm probably going to have to shut this down because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And, yeah. Let's just go finish it off. See if we can finish strong after all this. So see, as I need solitude. I need to be able to just sit and not be interrupted with things that aren't important to what I'm doing, which always seems to happen. It's like I said, everybody seems to know when I'm doing something. That's when everybody wants to text me and talk to me and blah, 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 blah. It's like a radar they have. For when I'm busy, that's when they want some of my time. But maybe that's how it is for everyone. I don't know. But let's get back to focus for the last 15 minutes. See if we can finish this bad boy strong. It's been kind of all over the place. It's been, which is what it was. It was just one of those things. Hey, might as well. Lance is in jail for 30 days on Facebook. Jonathan, for some reason, isn't allowed to use that function at this time, which I don't even know why he's hemmed up. Maybe they caught on. I don't know. Doesn't matter to me either way. It just frustrates me because I think I could be adding some good substance to the bullshit that I see, which is basically all I've done for the last 4 years. Just try to add some substance to the just the big piles of shit that they're throwing everywhere. Like voter fraud, like Benghazi, like birther, like, fake news, like all the bullshit conspiracy theories that they throw down on everybody's head. Make everybody scared, make everybody fear each other, make everybody hate each other. And that's what the right side has done. And then they want to blame us for hating. See, they blame Obama for racism and division. They blame the liberals and Democrats for division. But they're the ones telling everybody to hate each other. They're the ones telling everybody that's deplorable. You got to hate. Let's see, what's the list? You got to hate Mexicans. You got to hate Muslims. You got to hate single moms. You got to hate gay people. You got to hate everybody. You got to hate people that don't love God enough. You got to hate people that don't love America enough. You got to hate people that are poor and might be burdens on society. You got to hate everybody to be a deplorable. And that's why they call you deplorables. Because it's you against everyone else. And you made it that way. You made it that way. We didn't make it that way. I still don't hate you. I hate what you represent. I hate what you're doing to everyone else. But I don't hate you. In fact, I probably enjoy your company. There's a lot of people that are deplorable. that I consider decent friends. There's a lot of people that were deplorable that I still consider decent friends. There's a lot of people that I've helped see the light that I consider good friends. And being from where I'm from, there's a lot of people that I love and I know and I've known my whole life and I consider family that I know are racist, that I know have that ignorance and hold that ignorance, but I understand why. But understanding why and allowing you to impose that shit on people is two different things. I can understand you and accept you for who you are, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to let you make everybody else how you are. I'm not going to let you make everybody else believe what you believe because I know what you believe is stupid and ignorant, but I still love you anyway. See, that's just how I am. Being liberal minded makes me try to understand people, have an open mind to things, see things from different perspectives, and try to understand each other, show compassion and empathy. See, this is what being liberal minded gives me. It gives me the skills and the tools to understand people and try to figure out things, have ideas, see things from different perspectives and angles. And that's what you conservative people lack. You only see things from your point of view. You only see things from your perspective. You only want things the way you want things. And you can't do that in America. It only drags us back. It drug us back when them conservatives wanted to keep their slaves. No, you can't take my slaves. Oh, yes, we can. And we should. And we will. And we did. Oh, no, you can't give women the right to vote. Oh, yes, we can. And we should. And we will. And we did. You can't let women be in charge. Yes, we can. You can't let gay people have rights. Yes, we can. You can't let black people go to school with white kids. Yes, we can. You can't let black people's like fly planes or do any of this crazy stuff. They're just inferior animals. They can't do what we do. Yes, we can, and we did, and we will. Our diversity is what makes us strong, and liberal people understand that. Conservative people want to make everything fit in their little bubble and make everything how they want it to be so they don't have to be worried about nothing or scared about anything or apprehensive. White people don't want to have to be apprehensive. They don't want to say that they have anxiety. It's looked on as a weakness, anxiety, worrying about other people. Toxic masculinity. Like you can't have emotions if you're a guy. If you have a dick between your legs, you can't be attracted to another guy with a dick between his legs, I guess. Why? Why can't you? In what world do you think now, like 2020, how can you sit there and tell me that somebody shouldn't be able to love whoever the hell they want to love? In America, for fuck's sakes. I mean, if you're over in Afghanistan, or if you're over in Iran, or if you're over in Russia, or over there in North Korea, or over there in maybe even China, then yeah, you can go ahead and say that. Okay. But in America, you can't say that. We're special. We're different. We're the envy. We give everybody the right of equality. We keep trying to get better. We give people freedom, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, equal opportunity. That's what America's about. And frankly, that's what you guys are spitting in the face of every single day for the last 4 years. And I hope you're happy with yourselves. You had your turn, you fucked it up bad. Now we're going to have to fix it again. Always have to fix it. We always have to fix up you conservatives' mess and rebuild back from your ignorance that you always try to drag us back to. Keep us holding slaves, keep women barefoot and pregnant, keep, you got to be like Jesus, and we got to get back to conservative Christian values, and we got to make this a Christian nation. No. No. That's not America. Sorry. But it's not. And I can point to many things in the Constitution that tell me this. I can point to many things in history that shows the evolution towards this. My opinion is stronger than yours in regards to this. And that's fairly absolute. Now, can I help you build up a stronger opinion? Yes. Can I help you understand things better? Yes. Can I maybe get your brain wrapped around the errors in your ways? Probably. But you're going to have to give me the time and the thoughtfulness and the honesty and the fairness to do so. You're going to have to put it upon yourself to understand, to open your mind, to come to terms with the enlightenment you have coming. And it worries me that a lot of yous can't. That's one of the toughest things for a teacher. How do you teach the unwilling? How do you find a way to make people understand that can't understand? You have to be able to figure out a way to make people understand, help people understand. I see that's the trouble. I don't want to have to make you. I don't want to have to tell you, okay, this is it, my way or the highway, because then I start to sound like you. I want to help you understand why this is better, why this is more righteous, why this is closer to the truth. I want to help you become enlightened to this. I don't want you to have to wallow in your ignorance. I don't want you to have to be bitter and pissed off because you think you're not getting what you deserve or got coming to you. I don't want you to have to live that life. I want you to come to terms with why and how. So the first thing that you guys have to do in this endeavor is you have to come to terms with the fact that maybe you're wrong. That maybe the things that you've been saying is fake news isn't so fake after all. That he was, in fact, a dirty cock-sucking con man. That okey-doked you. That ran you amok. Led you astray. He okey-doked you. You have to come to terms with that, guys. You have become a lot like a cult in that way. Should really do some research about some cult mentalities that you personify. You guys follow him like a bunch of sheep. And he's stupid. He's ignorant. He can't string a sentence together. He is a braggart and a liar. He lies so much he believes his own lies. And that's the truth. But yet you guys bow to him like a bunch of cult members. He's like David Koresh and Jim Jones and Charlie Manson all rolled into one. And he was the president of the United States for 4 years. That's where we find ourselves, people. That's the gravity of the situation. That, yes, it was that bad. What you did is that bad. And it could have been a lot worse if we didn't come to the rescue. If people in Georgia didn't stand up, if people in Pennsylvania didn't stand up, if people in Arizona and Michigan and Wisconsin didn't stand up and say, no, you're not going to do this anymore. We're done with you. Black people got registered, women got registered, old people, Republicans turned against Republican. In overwhelming fashion, we beat you. There is more of us than there are of you. And that should tell you something. Should tell you something. And I hope that you come to terms with it. I want you to. I need you to. We need you to. We need you to come to terms with the fact that you fucked up this time. You truly did. You, I love you, but you fucked up this time. And we started to fix it. We stood up in record numbers, in overwhelming fashion, and told you that you're wrong. That you need to straighten up and you need to fly right. And you need to figure out the error of your ways because you were dead wrong. And I honestly, I don't know how else to say it. I don't know what else I need to say. Tell me what I need to say. Tell me what you need to hear about. What do you need to learn? What's the key? The first key is, absolutely the first key is to be found in the attack on the free press. He made it so people didn't know what to trust. They don't trust the FBI. They don't trust the CIA. They don't trust no fucking sources except for their sources. He don't want you to trust Fox News either because Fox News has finally came to terms with it for the most part. He's saying this is all a fraud and a fake and they cheated him and you guys believe him when everybody else tells you it's completely fair. It was probably the most secure election ever. It was just overwhelming numbers. People voted in overwhelming numbers, and ours were more overwhelming. But you don't want to come to terms with it. You want to pretend it's not true and not fair, and we cheated you. When in all reality, you cheated us in the first place, and we just came back and took it back with overwhelming support. And grace, because we got them through mail-in ballots because our guy cared about the people in the middle of a pandemic and told them to mail in their votes. Stay safe. Keep your mask on. Stay safe. Don't go out there and die. Don't go out there and spread this pandemic. And what'd your guy do? Let's have rallies and let's have, great spreader events and just spread it all over the country. Fuck everybody else. We're deplorables. America. I can do what I want. And yeah, you guys came in and voted, but we mailed in. We voted in more than you guys before you guys came in. And that's what came back and got you. It's fair. Fair and square, you got beat down. And now's time to come to terms with it and figure it out. And I'll help you. I'll be here. I might not be able to get on Facebook right now, but I can still do private messaging. I could, you can talk for me. There's other ways. I'll be back eventually and I'll talk to you about whatever you want to talk about. But we got to come to terms with your fuck up. Needs to be established. Line drawn in the sand. And that's been my hour. That went long, felt long, which is okay. I mean, is what it is. I'll look back on it later, see how it went. It drug. We had life intervened, but that's what's going to happen, I suppose. I love you guys. I'm very happy in Facebook jail. I really am. Part of me is just ecstatic. It's so great what Smoking Joe and Kamala did for America. We're heading back in the right direction, and I can feel that. We might still have to, deal with some tantrums and people pissed off because they're not getting their way, but eventually we're going to get better. And I can feel that again. Like I said, the grown-ups are back in charge. Logic and reason are back in charge. Humanity, decency, fairness, justice, honesty, these kind of things are back in charge again now. We're going to try to get better again. Build back better. And we should be ready because they ain't done fighting and neither should we be. I love you guys. Take care of each other. Be strong, be tough, be thoughtful, be honest. Try to be fair. Have a good one. Dumbass out.